I grew up in the greatest little town a kid could ask for, St. Charles, Minnesota. I still love it there. I'm not sure there had been many St. Charles grads before me to attend MSU. My sister and brother had both gone to Winona State. I chose a different direction. I'd been telling my family since I was about 12 years old that I was going to be a sportscaster. My dad, Bob, thought I should get into something that they called at the time computers. Well, Bill Gates' dad probably said the same thing. He listened and I didn't. Though skeptical, I'm sure my family believed in me and dreamed right along. My senior year in high school, MSU offered a retreat to learn more about the school and how it related to your interests. The chance to work those days at the campus radio station just reaffirmed my major and where I wanted to go to college. I had no scholarships or financial aid. Dad was my financial aid. I wish he was here tonight so he'd know that his money didn't go to waste. MSU was a little like my hometown in no time. Great friends, great times, great memories. My first year was spent in a dorm room at McElroy. We won the intramural football championship, broke both bones in my left wrist on the final play of the game. For spending money, I officiated football, basketball, and umpired softball. Try doing that with your peers playing. They called me names I'd never heard of before. The years after that were spent where most students ended up at one time or another, the apartments, Devonshire and Broadmoor. My roommates, Clint, Tim, and Danny, are like brothers and always will be. Even in the times that we get together now, we really have a little bit of trouble acting our age. The most influential person in my time at MSU was Steve Wolf. Steve ran KMSU, the campus radio station, on the top floor of Old Main on Lower Campus. That's where I spent the majority of my time when I wasn't in class. It's where I learned what radio was all about and how much I didn't know, even though I thought I did. Steve would secretly tell my girlfriend, Nancy Wilson, that the talent to be what I wanted to be might be there, but the attitude needed some adjustment. Over time, I saw it Steve's way. Hard work, no shortcuts. That's the way my dad and brother had done things too, so anything short of that from me would have been an insult to the Nessler name. The other person I'd like to thank at MSU was my favorite professor, John DeMeglio. I want to thank him for his guidance then and his friendship now. And all those coaches I bothered as a Cubs sports reporter, Butch Raymond and Rummy Macias and Don Brose, Dean Boyer, Gene McCarthy, Bob Otto, you guys were the best. Those learning times at KMSU led to professional jobs at KYSM and KEEZ before we moved south. I really wish I had some great advice for current MSU students. I'm asked by young people across the country all the time, how do I get where you are? Well, again, I don't know the shortcut route, but I think if you do the best you can, to the best of your abilities, every day, somebody's going to notice, and your chance and time will come. And when you get that chance, run with it as hard and as fast as you can. Life's taken a lot of twists and turns since our days at MSU in Mankato. We moved to Georgia in 1980. In 1982, I became the radio voice of the Atlanta Falcons. 5 years later, I became the radio voice of the Minnesota Vikings. I have a feeling that that was one of Dad and Mom's proudest moments. CBS came calling a couple years later. I was glad that my dad was still around to see my first big network television break. He might not have been alive for all the big games at ABC and ESPN for the last 18 years, but I still know he's with me at every game. My mom, Bunny, is my #1 fan. She never misses a game. If she does, that's an upset. I've been blessed to broadcast the NFL, the Olympics, NBA championships, the biggest college basketball games, and national championships in college football. I've got friends that are in every Hall of Fame imaginable, and I can call on any of them for anything at any time. And for that, I'm very proud. I've had to call on most of those guys over the last 18 years to be part of our annual golf tournament in St. Charles. The Nessler Memorial, named for my dad, raises funds for cancer research. While my celebrity friends help to draw the people to the event, it's really the folks of St. Charles and the surrounding communities that have made it a great success. Well, now that my basketball season's over, things will slow down a little bit. Time to watch my beautiful daughter, Reese, struggle through her last year of college. And best of all, I'll spend more time with my best part of my MSU experience, my best friend for 33 years, and my wife and partner for 30, Nancy Nessler. Without her, I couldn't have done any of the things that I just talked about. Well, I've been called a lot of things in my time, but never distinguished. I thought that meant you wore a suit, you were middle-aged, and you had gray hair. Oh, great. I do, and I am. I am honored, and I'm humbled, and I thank all of you for being with us tonight.